the World Rapid and Blitz Championships that is currently being held in Doha. Remember, over 200 contestants are playing in it, and this is the last chess tournament that is there in 2025. And most of our Indian contingent would want to end 2025 on a high. If I have to start with who was the main performer who outshone everybody today from the Indian contingent, it was Arjun Erigaisi. Arjun Erigaisi put on a fantastic show by winning his first four games very effortlessly. Gandhivam was in top form, and Arjun Erigaisi won his four games in rather dramatic fashion. But then came the ultimate test that he had against Magnus Carlsen. And credit to Arjun Erigaisi for ensuring that he drew with Magnus Carlsen. Remember, Magnus Carlsen was trying a whole lot of things, and he had made the endgame situation very complicated. And as we know, Arjun Erigaisi and Magnus Carlsen is the god of the endgame situation. And that is why when you look at what has happened, Arjun Erigaisi deserves credit for ensuring that he ended up with a draw. The move, it was about 90 plus moves, but Arjun Erigaisi fought and fought, got the only moves that was there, and because of that, he managed to get a draw. Remember, Magnus Carlsen was 2 pawns up, but then Arjun Erigaisi had the rook in the knight place. And because of that, he just couldn't make any headway. And after being in a bit of time trouble, Magnus Carlsen came close to time trouble, but then he managed to win. He managed to ensure he won some pieces, and Arjun Erigaisi was in the right place at the right time, and he decided to draw the game at this point. So, after 5 rounds, if you have to look at the top two, it is Magnus Carlsen and Arjun Erigaisi. Remember, there are about 5-6 guys who are tied with 4.5 out of 5, and one of them was Gukesh. Now, Gukesh, the world chess champion, is actually been panned for his poor performances in the rapid format. But boy, oh boy, did he put on a great show today as well. Because Gukesh, he was in some time trouble against Sina Mohammed of Iran. He tried and pushed, but Sina Mohammed made a very grave error, and that error ensured that Gukesh was completely winning in that game. And that is why, when you look at it, Gukesh also ends with 4.5 out of 5 points. Remember, it is the first 5 rounds today. Tomorrow, there will be a lot more rounds. It can go to 13th round if it needs to go on tiebreakers in that sense. So, tomorrow is also going to be very action-packed at this point in time. So, Gukesh and Arjun Erigaisi were the two stars today. Not to forget, there was also Nihal Sarin who did very well. But the individual who stole the show in more ways than one was Sandipan Chanda. Sandipan Chanda was actually helping Vaishali Rameshbabu in preparation, and he had also helped Gukesh earlier, and he was playing against Praggnanandhaa. Now, Praggnanandhaa was winning, and he was all but ensured that yes, he would be in that top bracket at this stage. But then he made a grave rook error. And because of that, Sandipan already had a pawn which was threatening to queen, and he also had the bishop protection as well. And because of that, Sandipan Chanda managed to win in dramatic style against Praggnanandhaa. And that is why Pragg now is wallowing well in the bottom ranks at this point in time. He's just gotten 3 points today. It's been a very tough day for Praggnanandhaa. He needs to really put on a great show in the next 8 rounds if he has to stay in with a chance of winning the World Rapid title. But Arjun Erigaisi has already made a great start. So that is why mixed fortunes today when you look at it. Nihal Sarin managed to do well. Sandipan Chanda managed to do well. Then you've got even Arjun Erigaisi and Gukesh doing well. The only slip up when you have to look at it is Praggnanandhaa. When you have to look at the women's section, it was actually Harika Dronavalli who did well today at the very beginning. Harika Dronavalli put on a good show, and because of that, she now is in that top bracket at this point in time. But the upset of the day goes to Vaishali Rameshbabu. She beat Tan Zhongyi. Tan Zhongyi had an opportunity to mate in one, but then she blundered. And Vaishali Rameshbabu captured that moment and ensured that she won the game. Remember, but Vaishali undid her own good work by ensuring that she lost in the last game. And that is why, looking at it, Vaishali Rameshbabu also would be wondering, what if I had that opportunity to do well? Divya Deshmukh also had a solid showing today, but also Padmini Raut. She also did very, very well. And the defending rapid champion in Koneru Humpy, she's down in 30th, although she didn't lose a game, but then she drew and then she won a couple of games in that sense. So there are a lot of people who are tied up on 3 points and 3.5 and 4.5. So that is why at this point in time, it is still early days at this stage. So tomorrow you will see a lot more action when you look at it in the world rapid section. Remember, the first 2 days are devoted to the rapid section. Then on 28th, you will see the blitz section that is going to take place. So tomorrow, you could see your world rapid champion crowned. So in more ways than one, you're reaching the fag end of what is going to be a brilliant, brilliant tournament. So World Rapid and Blitz, Gukesh, Arjun Erigaisi have all begun brilliantly. Nihal Sarin's also begun brilliantly. So has Sandipan Chanda begun brilliantly. But Praggnanandhaa, he's got a huge mountain to climb tomorrow. And that is why it's going to be monumental. But take a bow for Magnus Carlsen and Maxim Vachier-Lagrave. I mean, Magnus, he was the only individual who could have drawn water out of stone. The position was dead drawn. But Magnus Carlsen decided, boy, I need to push, I need to push. And he was pushing. At one point, we were fearing whether Arjun Erigaisi would buckle under the pressure. He had to make only moves to ensure that he would stay in contention. One mistake and he was gone. But Arjun luckily didn't make that mistake. And that is why kudos to him for playing fantastic chess. He would have been exhausted today with this exertion that he had against Magnus Carlsen. But tomorrow, remember, rapid section continues and Magnus still remains the favorite to win it. Blitz then begins on 28th. So that is one instance when we'll see whether Magnus Carlsen can do the double or can an Indian win the World Rapid or the World Blitz title? Because that is one event where we have never managed to do well. Vishwanathan Anand, remember, was the last time who won it in the open category in 2017 in Riyadh. Koneru Humpy managed to win it in the women's section last year in New York. So that's why we hope that an Indian manages to do well. It's been a good start by Gukesh and Arjun Erigaisi. Praggnanandhaa, unfortunately, he may have to look at the blitz section in order to ensure that he ends 2025 on high. Remember, this tournament is just one small thing. March and April, he has to focus on the candidates. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.